Well, good morning. I'm going to tell a little story before we start. I used to have my managers do 1, 3, 5, 10-year annual plans. This taught them to look ahead and not just run the plant on a day-to-day basis. And 1-year plan was critical. 3, 5, and 10 required you to kind of look to the future. When I retired, I found out I was doing the same thing. I'd be jotting things down, what I'm going to be doing this year, next year. One thing that kind of hit me was my 3-year plan, and my buddies and I were just talking about this the other day, that we won't be able to bushwhack and crawl around bluffs forever. Occasionally I'll get that telltale sign in my knee where I feel a little bone on bone, or my ankle. It makes me think that within about 2 to 3 years, we're going to change our strategy somewhat. We started doing a lot of short hikes, ride, jump out, jump back in, but I'm looking at something a little different for a 3-year plan, and I'm going to kind of get started today. I bought an electric bike, a trike in other words. Bought the trike because a friend of mine bought a bicycle older than me, and he said as he got older his sense of balance went away and the bike became hard. So I thought, okay, I'll avoid that. So I've got her loaded up, and we're going to head to somewhere in Big South Fork and give her a try. This is my 3-year plan right here, guys. Gonna maybe go from hiking less and less to riding bikes more, and getting out in the truck and beating the gravel roads. So come around, let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't kill myself. Alrighty, first stop, we're gonna pick my son up. I think we decided to go to Zenith, and he's gonna check the fishing out on White Oak, and I'll ride around just seeing how the bike does. So that's the game plan. Jacob finding some new areas to fish. He was at where's he at up there? He was around Leatherwood, I think, a couple of days ago, and caught a few. So I told him about Zenith. So that's the game plan. Alrighty, we got to Zenith. I put the ramp up and got my bike unloaded, and Jacob's over the hill fishing. So I'm gonna give it a twirl and then come back. We won't be here long. Alright, I rode my bike down from the picnic area down here to the crossing at Zenith. This crossing hits the O&W trail. Hang up to your left and you go up around Darrow Ridge, up on top. Several places to go up. Hang a right, you're about 6 miles from the O&W bridge, and you've got several places to turn up. There at Gart, you'll turn up the hill and come out on near the Cumberland Valley Trailhead. You can go on down to Speck, and there's a turn up. It'll take you over there close to the Leatherwood Overlook, and then you can keep on going till you come out to the O&W bridge. So it's a horse trail So if you don't mind sharing a trail with the horses, then it's a good, level, easy trail. The other thing is along the river, shaded, that it's not extremely hot. We've had terrible weather, so this might be an option for you to do some hiking on flat and see some good stuff. Of course, Zenith was one of the many coal mining towns between Oneida and Jamestown. So the train stopped here back in the heyday. Don't quote me on my exact numbers, but I think it basically kind of shut down in the early 40s, 1941 or so, and folks kind of moved over towards where I live around Wilder and the mines, and seemed like they took the tracks up in the mid 50s, 1955-ish, somewhere in through there. That's when everything stopped. And this is what the trail looks like. Mud holes you're gonna have to deal with, again, being a horse trail. If you're a hiker up here, you know what you got to deal with. But again, seemed like I got more towards Gurnt and Speck. It wasn't as muddy. Seemed like the hills up a little bit. So there you go. Some options for you. Couple things I had to get used to. Number one's the weight. This thing weighs over 100 pounds, believe it or not. Got about a 45-mile radius on a single battery charge, which I've had it now for several weeks, and battery's completely charged. The other thing is it's got two modes. You can pedal it like a regular bicycle, or you have the assisted, where you can do the throttle and the pedaling and just book right along. I think I've had it in the mid-20s, 24, 25 miles an hour, which felt like I was flying. One other thing is, it took me a while to get used to the throttle and the hand guard. About killed myself when I first got it because I didn't move my hand off the guard or the throttle for the handle. So that takes getting used to, but overall it's a heck of a lot of fun. I think it kind of fits my 3-year plan, slowly integrate into this in summertime, maybe even some of the winter, ride the back roads up off Divide and around Bandy, and just a way to get out when the knees and ankles don't want to cooperate. I want to head back down to the picnic area. It's been a good trial run. Found this several years ago. It's the foundation of I think an old water tank. Part of here, and some bolts stuck out over here. Yeah. On down where I was just at, when you cross the river, I walked that ridge out and didn't find much remains of old foundations or anything along the road. Did again find this old foundation for what looks like a water tank of some kind, or a tower. Of course, Zenith, we're on the North White Oak. There's another White Oak down farther south, so we call this North White Oak. Well, the bear loved the signs at Big South Fork. This one has been chewed on, but now we got a fresh one that's got this post and that post to go with all the old ones. So different bear have come down and clawed and chewed, scratched, whatever they do. This is something you see all through the park. Talking to my old hiking buddy Randy Neal, also known as Pawpaw in the Woods, and how in the last couple of years it got to the point now where if you do not see a bear, you're kind of disappointed. We used to see a lot of sign but no bear in the last couple of years, which tells me the population is really growing. If you don't see one along the road or one of these back roads, you kind of feel like you had a disappointing day. Well, alrighty. The maiden voyage of the Moon Cool is done and went really well. I've ridden it a bunch at the house, but first time to Big South Fork. Does really well on level. Get going on a downhill grade and you're pedaling and using the electric motor, you might get a little too fast. And it does really good on packed gravel, but you get to the big stuff that they sometimes fill in areas, the big chunks, and it's a little bit rough, a lot of vibration. But on packed gravel like you see on most Big South Fork back roads, it'll do real well. So welcome to year 3 of the long range plan. Hope you enjoyed it.